Hello, you're very welcome to Storytime here with Elga from the Community Library, and it's lovely to see you all and to have your company, and I hope you're all looking after each other and enjoying sharing stories and books together. I have a very special story to share with you today, a fairy tale that I'm going to use props to tell. Now this fairy tale dates back many years. In fact, the first time that we actually have reference to it is back in the 1840s, but it was long known before that because it was passed on from generation to generation, and lots of children enjoying this fairy tale. It's a very popular fairy tale. And in fact in 1886 there was a publication by James Halliwell Phillips, and that was The Nursery Rhymes of England, and it pays reference to this particular fairy tale, a different version of the fairy tale. And 4 years later, in 1890, we had the fairy tale as we know today published by Joseph Jacobs, and he actually refers to the earlier version of this fairy tale. The fairy tale is again very popular, and it's called The Three Little Pigs. And you know, as you're telling stories, particularly fairy tales, you can use props, any props at all you have at home. You can use pictures, anything to illustrate the story. And this really again homes in on our monthly message, which is less watching, more talking. Put everything away and just sing, talk and play. It's a great way to engage with your child. So sit back and enjoy our fairy tale, The Three Little Pigs. Now, as all fairy tales begin, once upon a time there were three little pigs, and they lived with their mammy pig in a lovely cottage deep in the forest. Would you like to see the three little pigs sitting outside their cottage? Well, there they are, the three little pigs. And do you know, they were growing bigger and bigger every day. And Mammy Pig said, "You'll have to leave the house and go out into the big world and make houses of your own and have a great adventure." And do you know, that's just what the three little pigs did. They left home one by one. They waved goodbye, just like that. And they all left home on a great adventure. Now, when they reached the end of the laneway, they decided they would have to go their separate ways. So the first little pig said, "I'm going to go this way, and then I'll be able to go into the forest, find a lovely spot and build my house." And the second little pig said, "Well, I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to find a lovely spot deep in the forest and I will build my house." And the third little pig said, "I'm going to go this way, and then I will find a lovely spot in the forest and build my house." And then they all remembered what Mammy Pig had told them. As you leave, yes, have a great adventure, build your houses, but be very careful beware of the big bad wolf who lives in the forest. And that's just what they did. They remembered every word that Mommy Pig said. So, the first little pig walked along, trotted, and found a lovely spot. He looked around. Oh, this is great. I'll build my house here. And he looked around to see what he could build his house with. And then he saw straw. I know, I'll build my house out of straw. So he gathered all the straw together and he built his house. And when he finished, his house looked just like this. And he went inside the house. Now, as he was inside the house, he heard what sounded like a rustling sound and a tap-tap sound. Well, he wondered, who could this be? Because then he heard a knock at the door. And he looked out the window. And who do you think was standing at the front of his house? Would you like to see who it was? Can you guess who it is? The big bad wolf. Oh, he was so big. The little pig didn't know what to do. And he knocked again on the door. And he said in a big, deep voice, little pig, let me in." And the little pig said, "No, I will not let you in. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. I will not let you in." So the big bad wolf, he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. And the little pig ran away as fast as he could. And then the big bad wolf went deep into the forest again. This time, the second little pig reached a lovely part of the forest and he looked around. Oh, this will be ideal to build my house. And he looked around and he found lots of wood. And he thought, I know, I'll build my house out of wood. So he gathered all the wood that he could and he built his house. And when he was finished, it looked just like that. And the little pig was so happy. He sat inside and then he started to get everything ready inside his house. But then suddenly he heard a rustling sound and a sound that sounded like a stamping of feet. Well, next who do you think was standing outside? That's right. It was the big bad wolf. Well, he looked at the house and he knocked again. And he said in his big, deep voice, little pig, let me in. And the little pig said, do you remember what little pig said? No, I will not let you in. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. I will not let you in. And the big bad wolf said, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And that's just what he did. And the little pig ran away as fast as he could. And then the big bad wolf went on into the forest. Now, in the forest, the third little pig had found a lovely place to build his house. He looked all around. Oh, this will be ideal, thought the third little pig. And the third little pig was very clever. Oh, he was very smart, because when he looked around, he saw bricks, and he thought, I'll build my house out of bricks. So he gathered all the bricks together and put one on top of the other, and another, and another, and another, until his house looked like this. Oh, it was ideal. A big house built out of bricks. Well, he was inside getting everything ready in the house. He had just lit a lovely fire, and he waited, and he was just about to settle down for the evening when he heard his brothers, his other two little pigs, came running to the house, and they said to him, oh, you have to let us in. The big bad wolf has come and blown down all our houses. We made a house of straw. I made a house of wood, and the big bad wolf has blown them all down. And the little pig opened the door, and the two little pigs came inside. And the little pig was so happy to see his brothers. Well, there was smoke coming out of the chimney. The big bad wolf, he knew where the three little pigs were, and they could hear a rustling sound, and then a knock at the door. And when the three little pigs looked out the window, there he was, the big bad wolf. Well, he came to the front door. He looked around the house, and he said in his big deep voice, little pig, let me in. And the little pig said, no, I will not let you in, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. I will not let you in. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. Well, the big bad wolf, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. But no matter how hard he huffed and he puffed, he couldn't blow the house down because it was too strong. It was made of bricks. So then he thought, I know, I'll climb up on the roof and I'll go down the chimney, and then I'll be able to eat not just one pig, but 3 little pigs. And that's just what he did. He climbed up onto the roof and went up on the chimney. Well, the 3 little pigs were very clever this time, because they had a fire that was so big, and a big cauldron of boiling hot water. So when the big bad wolf came down the chimney, he went as fast as he could, and he fell into the boiling water with a splash. And the big bad wolf, he let out a big scream. Ah! It was so loud. And that was the end of the big bad wolf. Well, the 3 little pigs were so happy, because inside the house that the 3rd little pig had made was so neat and tidy. It was their special house. And the 3rd little pig had his very own rocking chair that he could sit on by the fire. There it was, and he enjoyed his lovely fire. And he also had his lovely sofa, his little clock, his fire, his little lamp, and his little table with 3 chairs, one for each of the 3 little pigs. And as he had been making his lovely house out of bricks, he went out into the forest and picked some lovely flowers, and he put those also on the table, he was going to get all his supper ready. And the three little pigs, they chatted and talked all about how clever the third little pig had been. And they were sitting together, thinking about what will we have for supper. We can use that lovely big cauldron again and make a lovely big pot of stew. And do you know, that's just what they did. They were so happy and they lived all together in a very safe house made out of bricks. And they were never bothered by the big bad wolf ever again. Well, that's our wonderful fairy tale, the story of the three little pigs, and how happy they were at the end. And you know, I love that fairy tale because of the rhythm and the rhyme and the repetition. It's great for your children to join in and keep saying the same rhythm and rhyme over and over again, and they would just love that story. And you know, there's so many different versions of the Three Little Pigs. We have, for example, the Good Night, Sleep Tight series, which is a lovely story that you can share. And then there's a very simple version of the Three Little Pigs, which is done by Tony Ross. He's a wonderful writer. The Three Little Pigs. So simple to share with your child, a much shorter version of the fairy tale, an ideal story to share whether at bedtime or during the day. And I'd just like to finish our story time today with a pop-up book, because pop-up books are wonderful to stimulate your child and to engage them in conversation. They're great because as you turn the page, there's so much anticipation, wondering what is going to be next. And this lovely pop-up book is called, it's an amazing pop-up fun book, and it's called The Very Funny Fish. A recreational book, it's fun. And it's also educational as we learn all about the different types of fish. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Those lovely colours. Lots of deep sea creatures are hiding in this book, waiting to pop out at you, so come and take a look. Swish, swish. And this fish is called a ray. Speeding past his fishy friends, Ray zooms through the sea, giving his long tail a swish, as happy as can be. I wonder what will be next. We can turn the page. Oh, look. Angelfish. Swimming through the warm blue sea, where pretty corals grow, a pair of stripy angelfish are darting to and fro. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Those lovely colours. And then we can turn the page. I wonder what will be next. What's going to pop up? Let's see. Look. A great big whale. Look at his tail. Whoosh. As he swims through the sea. What a great big smiley face. Here comes the gentle whale, whooshing through the tall blue waves, waving his mighty tail. I wonder what'll be next. We could turn the page. Oh, look, an anglerfish. Oh, look at those sharp teeth. It's very dark. The clever anglerfish is such a funny sight. All the fish crowd round to see his special glowing light. He's right at the bottom of the ocean. Glurp, glub. I wonder what'll be next. Oh, look. A squid. Here's the fun and friendly squid, ready for a giggle. He reaches out his tickly arms and starts to dance and wriggle. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Lots of tickly arms. And then we turn the page. Oh, look. Clams. On the seabed, Clam begins a sweet and lovely song. His friends nearby all love the beat and start to sing along. Well, do you think we could sing our fish song? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let him go again. Why did you let him go? Because he bit my finger so. Which finger did he bite? This little finger on my right. And you know, as part of your story time, you can always sing songs and keep that monthly message so alive, singing and talking and playing together, reading stories, telling stories, using props and books. Well, that's all we've got time for today, and I hope you enjoy sharing books together and telling stories. So until our next story time, look after yourselves and take care. Bye bye now. Bye bye.